Hi. Well, it's us again. Two people in the world's smallest trailer. We had, on balance, a very good year. It began on a very sad note, though, when Marcia's dad died in January. He was 92 and had lived a very good and long life. When he was 76, he went bicycling with Marcia, had an accident, went tumbling over the handlebars, then got back on and continued his ride. This was his typical energy level well into his 80s. I will always remember him outpacing us at the Underground Railway Museum just 2 years ago when he was 91. He began to decline in early January. He didn't suffer much or linger long, we're glad to say, but we will miss him. Marcia's nephew John was very kind and accommodating to us when we dropped in to stay with him, along with Marcia's brother and sister-in-law, during Dad's final days and through the funeral. We were very appreciative. Mostly, this was a good and happy year. It started with a New Year's visit with Vicki and Paul. They are such fun folks. We met them at a restaurant for lunch, then went to see a few waterfalls. For New Year's Eve dinner, we went to a tapas restaurant with Fritz and Jenny, then out for dancing and listening to a band. We thought they were an R&B band, but they were pretty much a rap band. Fritz and Jenny loved them. I liked them a lot. Do you think Vicki and Paul liked the band? I don't think so either. We made it up to them the next day when we took them to a restaurant next to a waterfall. See the pattern here? Anyway, they had a good time, and we took them to the airport, and they flew home. If you know us, you know what comes next. We went skiing, of course. We had lots of snow this year, and ski season lasted until well into May.
They call him Super Skier as he sat around the sunset, for he swore that he would never take a spill. When they finally brought him down, they had to use 3 toboggans to carry all the pieces down the hill. He was coming down that slope, doing 90 miles an hour when he caught an edge of his ski. Well, his clothes, they were fast, but the slope, they were faster. That's the last of Super Skier we shall see. Well, he hollered, what the hell, as he lined them parallel. He figured there was nothing more to learn. And as he started on his way, he shouted, on the way, assuming that he'd never have to turn. Well, he was slipping down that slope, doing 90 miles an hour when a logo flipped him in the air. His jumping form was fine until he ran into that pine, and 2 one-legged skiers left from there. He was coming down that slope, doing 90 miles an hour.
Okay, so here comes the really good part. Fritz graduated from Occupational Therapy grad school and was valedictorian. Yep, that's right. My kid is brilliant. Here's part of his valedictorian speech.
I remember early in our second year when one of the first tests was handed back, and as the first professor proceeded to go through and identify and analyze all of the right and wrong answers, the class simultaneously went through and identified all of the right and wrong questions. Question 7 was poorly worded and could be interpreted in 2 ways. And while most had answered none of the above to question 16, a significant minority had conjured up special circumstances in which answer C could be correct. You had to admire it because they proceeded to change the test after having taken it. By the time they were done, it was about 10% shorter and everyone's grade had improved.
After he graduated, he and Jenny took all their mutual fund money and spent it on a 3-month trip to Europe last summer. That's right, he took all his money out of the mutual fund last summer. I told you he's brilliant. Then, after all this hard work, we went on vacation for about 8 weeks. It was a wonderful, relaxing vacation, which involved us driving all over the country, pulling and living in our little trailer. First step was picking up Max from college in Olympia. Max had a good year at school. He's actually enjoying school for maybe the first time in his life. He is almost a senior and will graduate late this year or early next. Then it was on to Seattle for a graduation party for my brother Andy, and a visit with him and his girlfriend Jessica, with my sister Marion, her 2 kids, Katie and Megan, and my nieces Sarah and Hollis. Katie and Megan and Sarah and Hollis are all teenagers. Shy, smart alecky, and fun. They're definitely related to me. We came back home with them, showed them around here, and when they left, we left town right behind them. We love hitting the road, or the bike path, or the trail, or the river. Here are some pictures of us moving through some great sights, with Marcia and the Sweet Adeline singing for us. Then we went to Chicago to see Vicki and Paul again. We had a little more biking, and this time we all liked the music. Oh, and here is a picture of Vicki doing only 52 miles per hour. That had never happened before. On the way back, we went to Glacier National Park. Here's a montage of that beautiful scenery. just barely got back from our long trip when Dave and Jeannie Jones came to visit from Dublin, Ohio. We showed them around our neck of the woods and had a lot of fun. They are great folks, and they would not let us pay for a meal. We wandered around the Northwest with them and had a great time. We saw a bear. Dave and I insist it was a grizzly, but the park ranger politely disagreed. What does he know? Lots more happened this year. Some we don't have pictures for. Some we just forgot. We visited Marcia's niece Anna and her husband Clay in Montana on our vacation, but our camera wasn't working then, so no pics. Jeff and Patty visited us briefly in August. That was great. Of course, they love those waterfalls. So we end the year almost as we began it. We got a huge snowstorm just before Christmas, had to dig out of 3 feet of it, which of course bodes really well for the skiing. Happy New Year to you all.